Hello everybody, I'm Kellen Fisher. Welcome back to this YouTube channel. We're doing Game 3 of the NBA Finals. It's the Spurs and the Knicks, as the Spurs try to take their first game in the NBA Finals this year at Madison Square Garden in New York at 8 o'clock on ABC. Tickets are as low as $5,700. Well, New York leads 2-0. That is big, and they are favored to take Game 3 as they are favored by 2.5. Madison Square Garden is going to be electric and rocking. This is the first game that's going to be there this finals season. Now, it's going to be electric inside but not outside because the vibes will be completely different from what we saw the rest of this playoff journey, as the watch party has been canceled by the NYPD due to President Trump attending the game. He's making history. First sitting president to attend an NBA Finals game. That is big, and history could be made again when the Knicks go up 3-0. That would be big for them, and it would be a pattern because that's what they did against the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals. They won 4-0 against the Cavaliers, while the Spurs on the other side of the country struggled in the Western Conference Final. It took them 7 games to defeat the number 1 seed OKC. So that was big for them. Now let's talk about Game 2 and talk a lot about that because there's some great things that come up in that game that I noticed. Now the Knicks won 105-104 on the road in San Antonio. But the Knicks, they scored a lot in Game 1. Kind of slowed down, and I expect them to pick it up in Game 3. So Victor Wembanyama, he did lead his team in points and rebounds. He had 29 points and 9 rebounds. He's going to have to do just that, if not more, if he wants his team to be victorious tomorrow night. Something else to look at on the other side of the ball for the Knicks. The Knicks, they had Towns. He led his team in points and rebounds too. 21 points and 13 rebounds. He's going to have to be just as dominant if he wants to make this a 3-0 series. He's going to have to play tough basketball. He's going to have to be aggressive, and he's also going to have to realize that he's going to have to be the one to score a lot of points because he is great at scoring, and the team has relied on him throughout the season to score those points. And they've won games based off of that. They have built this team to succeed when he succeeds. So he's got to come in and do something about that. Now, looking back at Game 2, the Spurs, they had more depth. They used more players than the Knicks did. So my question and something to look at is, in Game 3, will the Knicks change things up and have more depth and use more players on their bench, or will they keep it to a majority of their starting lineup and a couple bench players? That is something to look at, because if they continue to do what they've been doing this playoff season, especially in the finals, and not use their bench, I think that's good for them, and I think they should stick with it because obviously it's working. I mean, in their last 6 playoff games, they're 6-0, so it's really working a lot. I mean, that's just their last 6. They have go back even further, they've won more, So I think they have to stick with what they've got going, which is mainly their starting lineup and a little bit of their bench. Although their bench players have played more minutes than the Spurs, but the Spurs have rotated more than the Knicks have overall with different players. So that's something big to note, and will these trends continue in Game 3? And I think for the most part, yes, they will. And I think that's why it's going to be a big key if New York wants to go up 3-0 against them. My pick, something you've probably all been waiting for. I think the Knicks are going to take Game 3. Yes, they're favored by 2.5 with an over-under of 216.5. I think it's going to be the over, and I think the Knicks are going to win. It's going to be an over because 209 points were scored in the last game. That's, about average, not bad, but way less than what we saw scored in Game 1. I think the Knicks are going to win. I think they're going to be aggressive. They're going to come out shooting the ball. They're going to come out aggressive because they know that they are going to be playing a lot of time, especially with less depth. I'm Kellen Fisher. Enjoy Game 3. I will see you all back for another video.